Hey everypone! This week on My Drunk Q&A,
Conrad's a little drunk.
I'm a little drunk, kind of. Okay, this is part 1C of my gigantic Q&A. This is still talking about MLP and my channel. Today I'm kind of drunk, so I can't do a good intro. Yeah, Applejack. Someone drew a picture of me with Applejack, like, sleeping. I should probably put that here. It's adorable, and I love it, and I made it my Twitter background because I like it a lot. Also, Victor here wanted to have his own, he wanted to have his own pony, his own OC, so he drew one, and it's pretty cool. He forgot to put his cardigan on it because he usually wears this cardigan all the time, but I spilled beer on it just like 10 minutes ago, and that was fucked up of me. So let's start with the Q&A.
Hey!
Ask me the first question by Anonymous.
Can you do a thoroughly analyzing on Rainbow Dash Presents?
Well, the people who do Rainbow Dash Presents are called Dawn Somewhere, and they already kind of analyze it. They do this series called, they do like a, what's it called? A commentary on each of their videos, and those are really good, and they already analyze it enough, so I really don't have anything to add to that, so just watch their version of it. Next question.
I'm just remembering we've done all this before.
Did we?
Yeah, because we deleted it.
Because I don't. Yeah, but I don't remember doing that question for some reason.
I do. I was like, oh man.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I forgot to mention we actually did this section of the Q&A already, and then Victor stepped on the cord to his computer while we were recording it, and we just lost all the audio. Yeah, do the next question. Don't step on it again.
Digibrony 642. How did you get your channel to be so successful? And do you have any hints for up-and-coming YouTube channels? Okay,
so, like, when I was around 3,000 subs, I wrote this big-ass Google Doc where I was explaining, or I was just analyzing all of the possible reasons that my channel was getting so popular so that I could send it to, like, A&Y Pony and Brony Curious and give them some ideas. So I'm going to link that in the description. You can read that Google document if you want to see why I thought at the time that I was getting so many subscribers. But now it's gotten like so crazy, I'm getting like 500 a day, that I can't completely explain it anymore. But that doc should help. Next question.
Daring Do. My question is simple. What are your thoughts on this interpretation of Season 3?
Alright, I cut out his full explanation because it was long. But basically, this is just for that guy. Yeah, I agree. He basically was saying that Season 3 was an intermediary step on the course through each pony's destiny. And yeah, it was basically that.
Jet H7.
Okay,
what gave you the idea to do this Ask Me Anything thing?
There's several reasons for this. One is that I really like to be interviewed. It's kind of like a lifelong dream of mine. I often just sit around and think about like how I would answer certain questions if somebody asked me. So it's like a fantasy of mine. There's a Reddit board called Ask Me Anything where people go on there and they say ask me anything, and then people ask them like 1,000 fucking questions. And I wanted to copy that, and I kind of wanted it to do it on Reddit because it would feel really special, but I didn't want to make my viewers have to make Reddit accounts just to ask me questions because I thought that would be kind of unfair. So I used my own blog to do it. But what really drove me to do this was that I kept getting a lot of the exact same questions on like all of my videos where people would keep asking me and I'd answer them, but not everyone could see that answer. So I might have like 3 different videos where I got somebody asking me, when are you going to do the Ghostbusters review? Like, when are you going to redo it? And I'd get that question like 10 times in a day. And I'd be like, I need to just have a video series where I address everyone's questions. And then even, because I know people are still going to ask me those questions anyway, but at least now I can just say, go to the Q&A, and I don't have to answer them. I'm going to pause this for a second while I go to the bathroom.
Oh boy, I get to entertain everyone.
You don't have to, I was just going to cut it.
Mad Lex. Mad Lex. Final fusion with the pasta. So you can go watch some Mad Lex. And then you eat pasta. I'm starting to feel that White Russian. Applejack, hop on the flying part The stealth jet. And then Applejack jumps off. And then Gal Geiger opens up. And then Madlax gets in. And then Applejack gets in. And then it goes. Gal Geiger! This is Gal Figar.
My whole body is numb.
You're back! You missed. you missed some stuff.
Asshole. There's gonna be some cutting in this video. Occasionally.
You should at least watch that part back.
Should I?
Yes.
Next question. I'll read it. What are your thoughts on fanfiction? In general, I think fanfiction is a really cool idea. I support the idea of the death of the author, which you can Google that if you don't know what that is. Basically, the idea is that every person who reads a story interprets it differently, and they kind of create their own version of... Stop making noise. Every person kind of creates their own version of what a story is. Like, when you read it, you bring all of your own perceptions of the world into the story. So everyone's interpretation of a story is different, and this can lead to, like, when if everyone who watches My Little Pony has a different interpretation of it, then when they go to write fan fiction, then their fan fiction will reflect their interpretation. And so when I read a fan fiction that, like, somebody really gets the show the same way I do, and the fanfic reflects that, and it kind of explores themes that I'm interested in, then it's like, wow, this is really cool. But at the same time, if someone has a view that's totally different from mine, sometimes it can be interesting, but sometimes I'm just like, this makes it so I don't relate to the fanfiction, because he's not reading the characters the same way that I am. Next question from Rudy.
Rudy, I'm a brony, obviously, but I don't want to tell my friends about being one in case they tell their friends who tell the populars who will call me things like gay or baby. What should I do?
Alright, since I'm drunk, I'm gonna go off the cuff. Okay, what the fuck do you care what the populars think? Like, those guys? Fuck those guys. Also, if they call you gay and baby, why is that so bad? Why are you so afraid of being called gay and baby by these popular people? First of all, gay people are awesome. So if somebody called me gay, I'd just be like, whatever. And babies are pretty cool people too, but that's besides the point.
No,
my point is basically that, yeah, what does it matter? Why do you care what they call you? Just be like, okay, fine. You know, these people aren't your friends. You don't have to worry about them. Even if they were your friends, you don't have to worry about them. My friends call me all kinds of stuff because they think I'm fucking insane, and I just go, yeah, that sounds like me, you know. So it doesn't matter. I don't care what other people say about me. I have the Eminem philosophy where he's like, I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the paper, the news, every day I am. I don't know, it's just the way I am. Next question. I promise these answers aren't that different from the ones that are written down, but...
Benjamin. Hi, Digibrony. Would you make a movie about the educational system in Equestria?
Yes. There's more to this question, but yes. I want to attack Equestria's educational system because I think it's pretty interesting. I don't have plans to do the video, like, soon, but I will talk about that eventually.
Next question.
Yes, Anonymous.
Anonymous. Who is your favorite writer? Why would you scroll that?
Sorry.
Anonymous. Who is your favorite writer, and are you open to more writers being brought on to the show in the future?
My favorite writer right now is probably M.A. Larson because he wrote Magic. Now, mind you, Magical Mystery Cure, I acknowledge that it was mostly actually written by Daniel Ingram, and he did a great job on that too. But I love M.A. Larson. He did Luna Eclipse, which is one of my favorites. He did a lot of great episodes. Right behind M.A. Larson would be Megan McCarthy and Amy Keating Rogers. Both wrote some of my favorite episodes, but they've both also written some that I really don't care for. altogether, those guys are my favorite. But Emmy Larson, I also like him just because he's an awesome dude. If you read interviews watch interviews with him, he's just so cool. I follow his Twitter. That's the only person who works on the show whose Twitter I follow is Emmy Larson because he's hilarious. And yeah, I'm open to new writers being on the show because Corey Powell was a new writer for season 3, and Sleepless in Ponyville was like, it felt really different from everything the show had done so far. So I think it's pretty exciting what he did with that episode. Next question.
Ness682. Would you want the Cutie Mark Crusaders to get their cutie marks during the show, at the end of the series, or completely ignore the idea of ever getting their cutie marks?
I'd love to see the Cutie Mark Crusaders getting their cutie marks. I feel the same way about that as I do about the other ponies realizing their destinies. I'd like to see the Cutie Mark Crusaders get their cutie marks and then, like, you know, continue to progress after that. Like, you know, we didn't really see that with the main 6. We saw them get their cutie marks, and then we've seen where they are now, but we didn't see what happens in between. I'd like it if the CMC really explored that. They show what happens between a pony getting their cutie mark and growing up. I feel like I'm slurring so bad. Am I slurring really bad?
That White Russian's getting to me, man.
I'm like,
questions.
You shouldn't have kept
words.
Sam
Much. How emotionally attached to the main 6 are you?
Extremely. I'm very attached. That's a big part of why I'm watching the show. Why I'm so into it is because the main 6 are some of my favorite characters that I almost said some of, but really they are my favorite characters ever. I'm so much more into MLP than I've ever been into a show. You gotta understand that, like, right now, MLP is basically a way of life for me more than it is a show. It's not like my favorite show because it blows away every other show, where I'm paying so much more attention to it at this point than I am to anything else. So I'm seeing all of the main 6 on, like, a daily basis. I see pictures of them constantly. I'm always thinking about them, so I'm extremely emotionally attached. And that's different from what I wrote, so now this AMA being in video form has purpose.
As Twilight has now had her development arc, do you think there should be smaller arcs for the other main 6?
Yeah, I mean, I already discussed this really. In season 4, I want there to be development for each of the main 6, and because there's a whole season now that they can do 26 episodes, there's really no excuse for not developing each of the main 6 even further. And I'm going to expound on this again. I'm glad I'm drunk, because this gives me time to pull... somehow I'm pulling more thoughts into this. But I always consider character development in itself to be kind of an overrated process, where I think that characters can be great without ever developing, like Applejack. She has not done a whole lot of changing over the course of the show, but she's still great. But at the same time, I would like to see her develop some, because development, I don't think it defines what makes characters great, but I do think it's entertaining to see. So, yeah. Next question.
What do you think of the headcanon that Scootaloo is actually Fluttershy's sister?
That's out there. That's about as out there as Cadence being the daughter of Sombra. I mean, for this to be true, because Fluttershy's clearly met Scootaloo before, so that would mean that Fluttershy didn't know that Scootaloo was her sister, and that kind of just far-flung drama really is not in this show's style to explore. So it's just too out there for me to really care about.
Olympic Zeus, Digibrony, is there any reason why your OC is a unicorn? Mine is too, and that's because I tend to do a lot of information and writing in the South American part of the fandom. My actual question is, does your OC have a background story?
Oh, he also says, greetings from Argentina. Cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. My decision to be a unicorn is based both on the strengths of being a unicorn and the weaknesses. Because, obviously unicorns are more, they tend to be like the academically minded ponies, like, Twilight Sparkle. And, you know, I'm doing analysis. Clearly there's some some level of academia, involved in that.
Academia.
So, yeah, academia is a word.
I know, it sounds like like academia nuts.
Those are macadamia
I know.
nuts.
Anyway,
yeah, I have a cutie market of analysis and everything. And by the way, my pony does not have its own backstory that I've written yet, but it would pretty much just be me. The way I see I think I've described already the way I see my pony, but to me, like, Earth ponies represent this deeper connection with the Earth and with their bodies. Like, the way that Earth ponies tend to act in the show is that they're very, like, they tend to be strong and they're really in tune with the world, and they can grow crops. Pinky can teleport all over the place, and Applejack is like a great athlete, so clearly they have strength of body. And I don't have that. I feel really disconnected from my body. I feel like I mostly exist in my brain, and the rest of my body I'm kind of confused about. I have friends who would make great earth ponies, and I've always kind of been jealous of the way that they interact with their own bodies and stuff. Even Victor would probably be a better earth... Well, you like Pegasi, right?
Yeah.
And he would actually... He's really... in tune with the Pegasi. I think he would work perfectly as a Pegasus. If we were somehow turned into ponies, I would be a unicorn, he would be a Pegasus.
I think I would just bitch and moan until I became a Pegasus.
No, you'd be a Pegasus. I don't have any question about that. You'd be a good Pegasus.
The wings.
Yeah, so I mean, because I think Pegasi are a little harder to define, but they definitely feel like Victor. So in any case, I really relate to the idea of being a unicorn, and that's why my OC is a unicorn.
My face when drawing pony.
Is it really?
Yes, the whole time I was
like he really captured the curliness of his hair, and green is his favorite color. So yeah, it really worked.
And he spilled beer.
Oh, and his cutie mark is like this happy face in drama. Because he said he likes to make people happy. It's adorable.
Like making people
Next
laugh.
question.
Okay.
This is going too long. We're already 20 minutes in. I feel like nothing's
we recorded for
yet.
like 10 minutes. I let the camera roll.
Oh, that's right.
You threw me off. Look bites. What do you think the Cutie Mark Crusaders cutie marks should be / look like?
I think the Cutie Mark Crusaders cutie marks are just gonna be like what they're gonna be is gonna be exactly what the Showstoppers hinted at. What they should look like, I don't know. I'm not a designer. I'm terrible at drawing shit. So I'd rather that the show creators who are good at that stuff came up with it. Next question.
How many times do you visit My Little Pony related websites each day, and which ones?
I pretty much only use the My Little Pony subreddit because that's where all the news comes in, all the comics, all the images. And I check that like 20 times a day, even though there's often nothing new there. It's just because my average day is I click between the 6 sites that I check up like every hour, and I just keep clicking between them until I get bored and nothing's happening. But so I hang out on our My Little Pony all the time. I recently resubscribed to Equestria Daily because mostly so I could see if my videos got on there. But most of what gets posted on Equestria Daily in terms of images and comics is already posted on Our My Little Pony. The only difference is they have a lot of music on there, but I haven't been listening to it lately. But I probably will start getting back into My Little Pony music shortly. I also use YouTube. I'm trying to get really into the whole YouTube community of My Little Pony, so I want to watch all the animations and stuff and music that comes out. I have to pee again. I'm so drunk. I'm so drunk. It's not funny.
What's he gonna do next?
Talk about it.
I'll draw a pony in real time. I colored it with crayons. Here's the crayon box. Let's make... He's ugly. I already ruined this.
What are you wearing anyway? What is it? Did you just draw that the time I was gone?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He looked retarded.
Switch chairs back. You can't sit down if you're in that chair. This is so bad.
It's really like, hot in here.
It's like the awesome part of being drunk while I'm doing this is that I don't remember these questions at all. But the shitty part is that I'm drunk and I feel like I'm a fucking idiot.
All right.
Am I talking well, or do I just sound like I'm just this fucking asshole?
No, you sound...
Do I sound like I'm fucking up the questions? No, are people gonna hate me?
It's a little...
I hope you don't hate me for getting drunk before I answered your question, because it's almost feels
Here we go. All right. Would you rather have more Rarity or more Scootaloo episodes in season 4?
Rarity? Come on. I don't even care about Scootaloo. Wait. I want to tell you. Me and Brony Curious were having a discussion on Skype about this, and he said if the entirety of season 4 was just Rarity's clothes-making adventures, I would be happy with that. And I said, you know what? I agree.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. I'd watch a whole show about Rarity making dresses. I honestly would. Even if it was like basically the same shit every episode. If it was like Bob's Burgers, I would watch that. Next question.
Anonymous, what are your opinion on fan ponies? Yay or nay? And do you like my pun?
Yeah, he asked if I liked this because he wrote nay as in like a pun. I always like puns. Anyway, fan ponies are cool as long as they look nice. There's a lot of great ones. I think most of the people who do stuff like I do, the analysis people make great fan ponies. I love Brony Curious's art style. He has good fan pony. He just drew one for past analysis, which is really good. Even A&Y Pony, his is like really basic, but and made in Pony Creator, but I think it's still really good. So yeah, I like fan ponies as long as some thought's been put into them and they're not just like black and red. Your turn.
Zeus Assassin, have you seen My Little Investigations? What are your thoughts on it, and what do you hope to see from the game?
I don't know much about My Little Investigations. I remember watching like right around when it was announced, like a year ago. I watched some video from it or something. But yeah, as soon as it comes out, I'll play it. I mean, I'll play pretty much all the pony games as long as they finally come out. If I'm made aware of them, which now that I'm subscribed to EQD again, I should be. So yeah, I'll play it.
Who would you personally love to see ponyfied that hasn't been yet?
There's actually a lot of stuff I want to see ponyfied. I've like every so many days I'll be like, oh, this scene would be so good. I really want to see a pony of Gordon Ramsay, especially because I want to do a fanfic called Kitchen Nightmares Equestria, where it would be Gordon Ramsay, possibly as a pony, coming to something like the cakes shop and just railing them about something. So yeah, I'd love to do a Kitchen Nightmares Equestria. I planned it like a year ago, but I never wrote it. So, but hold me to that, people. Normally I don't actually like it when you guys bug me about doing something over and over again, but if you bug me about that one, maybe I'll actually keep it in mind and do it eventually.
We're both wearing red shirts.
Yeah, you didn't notice that until now?
I didn't.
I noticed it 10 minutes ago.
Gummy the Alligator. I saw you had Homestuck in part of your video, so what was your reaction when you saw that Dirk was a brony?
I enjoyed it. Dirk obviously is a fan of horses, and he's the kind of guy who really wouldn't give a shit what other people thought about what he likes. And Andrew Hussey's the same way. He was gonna be like, "Fuck it, Dirk likes ponies. Sure." I feel like Andrew Hussey decided not to be a total hipster about it. He could have been like, ponies are passe. I don't want to do that. But instead, he was like, you know what? I bet Dirk would like this, so I'm gonna throw it in there.
Certainly. Favorite TRY animation?
So I thought this was going to have to be a Digibrony After Dark question. Those of you who know who TRY is will know why. But I realized that TRY also made the animation called Trixie Alone, which is actually what made me a Trixie fan. So I choose that one. So I dodged a bullet there.
Kyle, what is your favorite fan-made brony song?
My all-time favorite brony song is Born Cross-Eyed by Tarby, which is also one of my top 5 favorite songs, period, of all time. It is amazing. So yeah, that one.
Who is your favorite brony besides yourself?
Okay, I'm not going to count my brothers or any of my friends because that's kind of obvious. So sticking solely to bronies who are visibly active in the community. In terms of ones that I'm friends with, I'm the closest friends with Brony Curious. But as for bronies that I'm like a big fan of, obviously it's going to be So Great and Powerful because I pretty much am in love with that guy's stuff. Everything So Great and Powerful does, I get like super excited. I listen to it 1,000 million times. I almost listen to So Great and Powerful like every day. Like, yeah, so I'm just obsessed with his stuff. Next question.
Anonymous, what are your thoughts on the theory of Discord being Star Swirl?
I don't get this theory. It's weird, and I could never see MLP doing something like that. So I don't get why people have made the theory of Star Swirl being Discord. Next question.
Desjin, what are your thoughts on how the economy works in Equestria?
For the time being, I've thrown my hands up about the economy. I don't know. There's just not enough evidence, and what evidence there is just all over the place. and I don't even understand the economy of the real world. So, yeah, I'm not even trying to understand the economy in Equestria. After Just for Sidekicks, I just gave up. I'm like, nope, don't know.
Anonymous, I like to have an OC pony, but I am terrible at drawing. How do I get one?
I don't know. I guess the best way to get an OC pony, I mean, obviously there's Pony Creator, which most people use to make their ponies. But if you want somebody who's like a legit artist who knows color combinations and stuff, because that's why I didn't use Pony Creator because I suck at drawing. I've used Pony Creator before to try to create original ponies and they just weren't that good. So I got a legit artist to do mine. And she just kind of offered to do it because she liked my videos and she said, hey, you want an OC pony? I'll draw you one. So it helps to be a videographer. But if somebody doesn't just offer you one, then commission someone if you have any money. This guy called Past Analysis, who makes videos, recently commissioned Brony Curious to do him some designs, and those designs look really good. So yeah, if you have a little bit of money, you could pay someone to draw you, or if you really think that you're decent enough at designing, use Pony Creator. That's fine.
Your turn.
Oh, this is long. The reason I've been letting him try, I've been trying to let Victor read all the questions because I'm like a little too drunk to read. I've been going completely off the cuff so far, if you couldn't tell by the fact that I've been looking at the camera. Daniel asks, first of all, I love your YouTube channel and blog. I think they're very insightful and interesting. Here's my question. I know some people have asked how you got into the MLP fandom, but what I want to know is if you had anything happen to you socially when you came out with it. Were all of your friends bronies too, or were you the odd man out? If other people were negative towards you about it, how did you deal with it? Do you have any advice for those of us who want to be open about it but are too afraid of what others might think? First of all, wow, somebody reads my blog. Awesome. And second of all, the thing about me is that I've always been extremely eccentric. People expect me to be weird about shit. I've never really been considered socially normal, and I was, like, through most of my childhood, I was kind of ostracized. So I've been used to that since I was a kid. I'm used to being somewhat abnormal. Through force of self-obsession, I happen to like myself a lot, so I don't really care what other people think about me. It doesn't bother me if people think I'm weird or something, because I really like myself. To give a picture of what I'm like, I used to have hair that reached down to my knees back when I was in high school, and college, but I finally cut it because I just realized that long hair is really a nuisance. My wardrobe consists almost entirely of pajama pants. And I wear mostly band t-shirts and shit, so I don't really look nice or anything. Yeah, I've been an anime fan forever, and I used to have a room that was like completely covered in anime posters. So, you know, my family already was aware of the fact that I was really into this cartoon. Like, most of those posters were really risque. I had like a lot of half-naked anime girls on my walls and stuff. Which I took most of them down because they weren't really good posters. But the point is that, you know, everyone knew I was into weird shit. So when I got into ponies, it wasn't that different from what people were used to from me. People were just like, oh, Conrad's... Right? Would you say... Describe to them what your reaction to me getting into ponies. Because when I watched it with my youngest brother, Shade, who's like 15, and the two of us got into it at once. So you got into it a little later. What did you think when I got into ponies?
It was inevitable. I watched an episode and I was like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
this is something Conrad would like.
You've grown up with me, so you really weren't... Because the thing is that I force what I like on people, you know. If you hang out with me, you're going to watch some anime. You're going to watch some My Little Pony, you know. I don't really hang out with people who aren't open to stuff. We have one new friend who doesn't really care for My Little Pony. But, you know, the way he talks about it until meeting me was mostly like, oh, fuck that show. But now that he's starting to getting to know me better, he's really getting into the mood of like, well, maybe I should be more... Like, maybe I should just say, well, I didn't care for that show. You know, not so much fuck that show. Because of the fact that he knows how I'm really into making people authentic and stuff. So, yeah. Inauthenticity really does not survive around me. I don't like people who can't admit what they don't like. And I really hate people who won't accept others for what they're into. So, when someone says something to me like, you're a faggot for liking MLP, I go, well, I'd rather be a faggot than a hater. Because... what do I care if they call me a faggot? I'm fine, you know.
Cro-Magnon Man. Any good rock brony musicians you know of?
Okay, if you're really into rock music, the best rock music brony is probably Tarby. His music is definitively rock, and it's really good. Shit, you scrolled so fast. Yeah. Mando Pony, I think, plays rock. I haven't listened to all of his songs or anything. I'm not like a huge Mando Pony fan, but a lot of people are. So Mando Pony's probably recommended. There's a great rock song called For Luna by Vaporous Coyote, which is a great song. I haven't listened to any of his other songs though. And I also recently got introduced to a kind of southern rock guy called Kane the Destroyer. His songs are pretty good. I only just learned about him, but if you like southern kind of rock, check that out. I have to pee again.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like a fountain today.
How am I supposed to entertain these people?
I told you
I could dance. I can't dance. Let's just draw another pony. Got my crayons. He's got a handlebar mustache.
Doing this? Why do you keep drawing these pictures? Ow, my foot.
I have crayons.
I feel nothing. Get out of the chair. Dude, I really need to avoid this computer cable. If I step on it, we'll lose everything again.
Yeah, be careful.
Shit.
Can I go get a Dr. Pepper?
Okay.
Yay.
I'll answer questions while he's gone.
Or draw ponies.
Okay. This question should not be in this section, oddly. The next question is by Luck Bites again. If there was a My Little Pony episode where one of the ponies dies, what would you think? I would think, this alternate reality that could never possibly exist sure is strange. The next is from Paleo, as in Paleo Steno, the guy who also does MLP reviews. He says, how are you catching up to me so fast? I probably already know the answer, though. Probably has to do with the fact that I haven't been active lately, and you've been very consistent with posting videos, and I commend you for that. You've done a great job of it. Thanks, Paleo. By now, I'm not catching up to you anymore. I've actually passed you. So, yeah, it's really exhilarating. It's pretty cool. Slateneer asks, what character would you like to see developed the most, main 6 and other, and what character needs to be developed more? I wouldn't mind seeing more Trixie. As a matter of fact, if Trixie became like a main cast member, I'd be pretty cool with that because I'm a really big Trixie fan. A character who needs to be developed more is Cadence, because she's kind of been showing up a lot, and if she's going to show up that much, I kind of want to care a little bit more about her. So, yeah, I want to know more about Cadence. And Victor's back. Let's hear more of him asking the questions. We are on Nikki V917.
I became a fan of you after Hasbro shut down your video on Ghostbusters. You mentioned that you'll redo the video at some point. When will this be? And can you give a quick summary of what you think of it right here?
Okay, so the thing about the Ghostbusters video is that obviously it's still the only one I've actually had removed, and it's only blocked in the USA. That's why I haven't just pulled it from the playlist, because some people actually can still watch it. I'm going to do that video probably pretty soon, because I keep getting questions about it. I'd been holding off on it because of the fact that my friend wrote like a 12-page thesis about why he hated the episode, and after reading that I was like, I'm done. I'm just done with Ghostbusters. But it's been long enough now, and he actually wrote another post about it, which is much shorter and more succinct, and I'm probably going to copy a lot of his posts verbatim if I do a video. He's given me permission to do so. So, yeah, I'm going to link that post in the description. So go ahead and read that if you are interested in hearing basically what I'm going to say about Ghostbusters. But, yeah, I will get to a video for that before too very long.
You can read this one.
Oh, what?
It's big.
It's which one? Solid Matthew? Okay, he says, it seems to me that Luna gets a lot more attention from the fandom than Celestia. I think the reason is that Luna got an episode developing her character, whereas Celestia is around a lot, but it's always because of an important event. We've only really seen Celestia in a casual setting twice that I can think of, and during those times it was very brief. We see Celestia, but I feel we don't know her as well as Luna. Do you think an episode focusing on Celestia or both princesses is likely, and how could they pull it off? I think I already had tackled the likelihood of having an episode about just the princesses, but, yeah, I don't really know how it could work, but I do agree that it's probably that Luna, with Luna, the thing is her problem was really personal, and so she kind of needed the help of the main six to get through it. With Celestia, I can't see her having that kind of problem, because she's supposed to be this great ruler of the world. It would be weird if she had a problem as simple and as personal as Luna's. So I can't really think of a way that she would have that kind of problem that could be addressed by the main six. Your next question.
Only in this light asked an extremely long question about Rarity and basically answered it with their own analysis of the situation, so I'm not sure how to respond to it. They also asked, what are your theories as to why some fans like and dislike each of the main six?
I'm going to read this one straight up because I remember it being a decent answer. It says, the thing about this is that it's an intensely person-by-person thing. And the generalization that people do or don't like one pony or another are not well-based. I've seen polls where Fluttershy was like the most popular pony, and I've seen other polls where she was the least popular pony. I've seen some people who continually complain that AJ is boring or that she's a background character, but then you have videos like Strive Like Applejack that was like in the top 5 highest voted videos of 2012 in terms of popularity. So because the fandom is so decentralized, I think that people often get it in their heads that there's this thing is popular opinion when it's actually not. So I don't think that as many people dislike Rarity as people seem to think. I've seen plenty of people who dislike Rainbow Dash, people who think that she's just like a big jerk. I've seen people who think Fluttershy is boring, like Brony Curious doesn't like Fluttershy. I've seen people who dislike each of the main 6 ponies, so I think it's really important that each person individually figures out why they don't like each pony, but trying to make a broad generalization like people don't like Rarity, it's like, well, she's Brony Curious's favorite pony. I love Rarity. His favorite pony is Rarity, so clearly Rarity's not that unpopular. So yeah, that's
strong women.
That is true.
Andyman X. There's a rise in rumors on the new toy set that features a unicorn by the name of Sunset Shimmer. People are saying she's going to be the next Twilight Sparkle, replacing her as a main 6 character. Thoughts? Okay.
No one is replacing Twilight Sparkle, as has been made clear by the writers. They've already said Twilight Sparkle will continue to be a main character on the show, which is kind of obvious. They wouldn't remove her after having most of the show based on her. But anyway, I think it would be cool if they got a new main character. It would be kind of like the 6th Ranger if you ever watch any Super Sentai or Power Rangers shows. They always start off with 5 Rangers and then they get a 6th one like 20 episodes in. Now, the problem with adding a new character is that if they take up too much screen time because they're trying to establish all of this character's traits at once, then it can be annoying. Like, for instance, if we somehow ended up getting less Rarity episodes because we're too busy worried about Sunset Shimmer, that would suck. But if Sunset Shimmer is really cool, and if we want more episodes by her, then it could really work out. So, yeah, I think it can go either way, and it's it's a total rumor right now. We're just basing this on we saw some pony toy, and lots of ponies get toys. So, who knows? Maybe she'll be a one-off character or something. We don't know. But I'm interested in the idea of a new main cast member.
Anonymous. Suddenly your favorite pony is right next to you. What do?
Okay. First, I'm going to calm her down. I'm going to explain to her where she is. I'm going to ask her what she was doing right before she magically got teleported to my world, so that I can try to understand maybe what happened. I'm going to try to comfort her, calm her down, assure her that she's safe until she figures this all out. I'm going to try my hardest not to just hug her and play with her mane because, she's kind of distraught, and I'm going to work her through this disorienting experience.
I'm just imagining Applejack crying in the corner, and you're just like, "It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay."
We're too drunk for this.
Anonymous, hey, I was just wondering, what's your theory on how exactly princesses become princesses?
I don't have a theory. People keep asking me this, but I don't have a theory because I don't have anything to go on. So I'm hoping that season 4, the first 2 episodes of season 4 are going to explain this somehow.
What is your favorite MLP fanfic in each of the following genres? Comedy, horror, and adventure.
My favorite comedy
What are you doing
is
over there?
my favorite comedy is the day my beard turned into Pinkie Pie. But the other 2 genres, I haven't actually read any MLP horror or adventure stories. I guess if you count the My Little Dashie version, I mean, not My Little, what the fuck am I thinking? If you count the Rainbow Dash Presents version of Haunting Nightmare, that would be my favorite horror story. Obviously not the original, I haven't read it, but My Little Dashie version is awesome, so that. Next question.
What are your opinions on the following fanfics? My Little Dashie, Anthropology, Cupcakes, and Know Your Mane.
Know Your Mare.
Mare.
I haven't read any of them. I intend to read Anthropology, but I have not read any of those fanfics just yet.
Anon, who or what inspired you to write and do... What the fuck are you doing? What just happened?
Keep reading, I thought...
Who or what inspired you to make these analysis videos?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My biggest inspiration to go with the video format was Egoraptor's sequelitis videos, which I'm a huge fan of. I've watched each of them like literally 30 times. I cannot stop watching Egoraptor's sequelitis videos. So the thing is, I don't really have his sense of humor, and I'm not really interested. I like animation, but I don't have the patience to do it. So I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But then I watched Campster's videos. That's the guy who does Errant Signal. And I'm a huge fan of those. And he's a lot more like me, where he just straight up analyzes stuff. So after watching Campster's videos, I decided, hey, maybe I really can do this. So I started doing it after that. Next question by Savannah.
Savannah, what is your list of main 6 ponies from least liked to most liked?
Fluttershy, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, Pinkie Pie, Twilight Sparkle, Applejack.
Do you like Friendship is Witchcraft or the Mentally Advanced series more?
Friendship is Witchcraft. I'm not a big fan of the Mentally Advanced series. I actually watched it very recently. I hadn't watched it all the way through before. I think that the characters from the Mentally Advanced series came through a lot better in Rainbow Dash Presents, where there was a lot more free reign allowed, and Fim Flam Philosophy could really do whatever he wanted, but the Mentally Advanced series is just kind of okay, whereas Friendship is Witchcraft I'm a huge fan of, so I've seen all of that like 8 times.
Tab, who is your favorite male background character and why?
I don't know any male background characters.
Anonymous, do you think Discord's powers are magic-based or something else entirely?
To really clarify this, we have to define what magic is in MLP, like exactly what constitutes being magic. So until we know that, we can't really say.
Pegasista named Gwen C. You sounded way too upbeat on the Ask Me Anything video. Are you on the glitter?
Dude, what the fuck is the glitter? What the actual fuck is the glitter?
Are you... If you are on glitter, don't tell Pinkie. This isn't a question. This is an order!
I already told her, dude! I already told Pinkie I was on the... What do I do? What do I do?
You don't happen to know the name of Fancy Pants' wife/girlfriend/fiance, do you?
Her name is Fleur-de-Lis. I do not consider her to be actually in a relationship with Fancy Pants. I think she's just some model that he was with. The battery's about to die.
Friend zone.
Happy time!
Ruin my sparklers. My Twilight sparklers.
Oh, you. Okay. I spilled incense all over his room, and we switched cameras because the other one's battery ran out again. Fuck. I don't understand how I got so drunk. Hey, Internet, what's going on? I'm a big fan of My Drunk Kitchen. That's why we're doing this. Okay, fuck. What question are we on? Victor, you have to pay attention.
What?
You're the sober one, somewhat. The next question. What are your feelings on Discord and Celestia shipping? It's fine. I'm okay with it, vaguely. So, whatever. Next question. Victor, get with it. Alchem Girl 13.
Should Discord, King Sombra, the Flim Flam Brothers, and or Queen Chrysalis come back in Season 4?
Everyone should come back in Season 4. I'm okay with that. Next question is long. I'll read it. Jonathan asks, maybe I should. Do you think if the main characters were transferred to our world and saw our movies and video games that they'd be... You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, Internet. I can't read anymore.
You want me to finish that one?
Should we throw this away or should I release it as like a 30-minute bonus? I answered some of the questions well. I answered
keep the
some
ones
of
you
the
had.
questions well.
We'll put this one up as a joke one.
We'll
from
put
this
it up
camera.
in the middle. It'll be like, hey, this wasn't 24 hours. Why did Digibrony put out another one? And then they'll be like, that's why. That's why he didn't wait a whole day. He thought it wasn't worth it. Some people will be like, dude, this video is fucked up. But some people will be like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This is my favorite video that's ever been on the internet.
I hope you don't
Is this empty?
betray everyone's trust.
I've announced that I was drunk while making other videos.
Digibrony's just a drunk idiot.
I was drunk when I made the...
Digibrony is just a drunk fool.
But I have to label this as part of the Q&A. Go turn off the camera. Annotations!
Annotations!
Should we redo this?
Redo what?
Legit, should we redo this when I'm sober?
Not all of those. We'll start off.
There's a text version in the description, so if you want the legit answers, read the text version.
Answers.
Read the text version.